This video will tell you how to do a dilution test when you have high levels of free chlorine. For the test, you'll need your normal test tubes and test kit, your normal DPD1 tablets, a dilution beaker, normally the same beaker that you use for your balanced water test. It will have multiple dilution ratios on the side. You'll also need some fresh tap water and your sample of pool water. So the first step will be to measure out your usual 10 ml of pool water. And pop the lid on this. Switch your test machine on and do your normal zero test. Just take a few seconds to give you a reading. Once you have your zero, you can perform your DPD1 test in the normal way by placing a few drops or a small quantity of your sample water in the bottom of a clean test tube. Add your DPD1 tablet without touching it, and then crush the tablet into the small amount of water, observing any pink colour, which will be nice and strong at this stage. I'll just show you that with a nice white background so you can see it's a very strong pink colour. And then top up your sample with the remainder of your 10 ml. And with this sample we can see that the chlorine level is so high that it's actually bleached our sample to clear. So we know now that we need to do a dilution test. So we will discard this test, rinse out our test tubes, and prepare a sample for our dilution test. So we can take our shaker tube and we're looking for the side with the dilution ratios down the side. And I'm going to go straight in with the 10 times dilution. So I'll now take my pool water sample and fill it to the 10 times dilution line very carefully. And then I'm going to top it all the way up to the very top line on my dilution with tap water. Didn't quite have enough there. There we go. And then I'm going to place the lid on here and just invert it a couple of times just to make sure it's mixed. And then I can run my DPD1 test again in exactly the same way as I just did before. Again, just make sure you re-zero your pool test kit. So you might need to turn it off and turn it on again in order to do this. Make sure it's on chlorine mode, hit the 0/test, and then in a few seconds it will come up with your reading. Once we have our 0, we can take the lid off here. Same situation, pour just a few mil into the bottom of your tube. Take your regular DPD1, pop it in the bottom of there, give it a crush. Again, we can see that is still a nice dark pink colour, And we're going to top that up again and see if we still get bleaching. Colour seems to be sticking around this time. So we've got a successful test. We can pop the lid back on here, run my test through the kit again. And then we need to multiply the reading that we get by the dilution factor, which in this case was the times 10 factor. So my reading of 2.1 will give me an actual free chlorine of 21.